It's been a demanding year. Right from January, we knew things wouldn't be normal. The election of Donald Trump created real economic threats for Canadian workers. So instead of waiting, we moved quickly, pressing governments, raising alarms, and putting workers' issues on every agenda we could. This year, I was appointed to the BC Trade and Economic Security Task Force, the Manitoba U.S. Trade Council, and later the BC Softwood Lumber Advisory Council, as our forestry sector continues to suffer. But while we were fighting to protect jobs, some governments were doing the opposite. Daniel Smith underfunded education and legislated teachers back to work using the notwithstanding clause. We joined education workers as they strategized how to deal with this government, and I stood with CUPE workers during their winter strike. Community events help build our solidarity by bringing us together. This year, I joined Local 3003 members for their annual ice fishing derby and family summer picnic in Winnipeg. We held a packed Black History Month event in New Westminster. We swore in new members at Local 2200, and many other locals held elections. Training and education continued across the Union, and I joined Unifor education classes to watch the magic in action. These moments remind me what Union solidarity really looks like: getting together, learning, and building. We kept growing our movement in many ways. This year I joined WestJet Local 531 to open their new office in Calgary, and we saw many successful organizing drives across the West. Walmart workers in Vancouver and Calgary chose to join Unifor, and they're in collective bargaining. And after a long, difficult fight, we achieved our first and largest Amazon certification at a major BC fulfillment center. The Labour Board found Amazon's behavior so extreme that it ordered a remedial certification and required Amazon to provide paid, on-site union access. We met the members, elected a bargaining committee, and even began bargaining before the year ended. We even brought Amazon workers in to directly meet with the Premier and the Labour Minister as they shared their hopes for a first contract and more organizing of Amazon workers. Workers across the West were forced into tough battles this year. We saw strikes at the Arbutus Club, Cascade Aerospace, and the first national strike against DHL, also the first successful use of the new federal anti-scab law. Transit workers in the Cowichan Valley carried out the longest transit strike in BC history. We rallied at BC Transit, at the legislature, and brought workers directly into meetings with ministers. The workers held firm, and they won. Local 3000 members at the Sheraton Guildford struck for more than 120 days. They knew their worth, stood their ground, and with our help and public pressure, they secured a fair contract. We gathered with members and leaders across the West and across the country. We had a very strong Prairie Regional Council with Premier Wab Kinew, Naheed Nenshi, and Carla Beck. We met as our National Executive Board in Port Elgin and again in November. We held a focused BC Council in Harrison Hot Springs. We engaged in national forestry, economic, and government consultations all year. And in August, at our National Convention in Vancouver, I ran for re-election as Western Regional Director. I was re-elected along with our leadership team, led by Unifor National President Lana Payne. This year was demanding for families dealing with job loss, for communities watching industry struggle, and for workers wondering what comes next. That's who this work is for. That's what kept me moving through every early flight, every late meeting, and every long week on the road. As we close this demanding year, I'm taking a moment, like many of you, to rest, reset, and prepare for what's coming. 2026 will be another difficult year for workers, but also a year of opportunity to fight to make things better. Thank you to every member, every activist, every leader, and every worker who made this year challenging, inspiring, and worthwhile. So let's rest up and come back ready for everything 2026 throws our way. It's been a demanding year. See you in 2026.